Alright guys, let's paint up this model within a single night. Hello there guys, thank you very much for joining me today in this quick painting tutorial video. I am recording this at about 10 PM. I need to get this miniature finished painting, ready in time for a game that I'm having tomorrow. Yeah, so I thought let's see if I can actually paint this within a couple of hours. I'm going to be using contrast methods, and I'm also going to be using a hairdryer to make sure that everything is going to get dried off quick. It is my missus's hair dryer. She does know I'm using it because it's fine, and she normally just lets her hair dry naturally. It doesn't curl off it. So I've got her hair dryer. We're going to be doing contrast paints. We're going to be using inks and all sorts of other good gubbins to try and get this figure painted as quick as I can. Now it is not an easy figure by any means to try and actually paint. There's a lot of glass vials and things of that nature. I'm going to see if I can get them done. We're going to be using a wet palette as well. I'm trying to get this done as quick as I possibly can, and I'm going to take you guys on the journey with me. I've already based it by the time I'm recording this, so I've already put some told hairdryer on that to try and make sure that it's actually dried up. I'll get it sprayed black and let's crack on. Okay, so now I'm pressing the record button. It is now currently 10 past 10. We have the figures kind of based and sprayed up. We're now going to hit them with this bad boy combination. This is going to be my dry brushing. We're going to be hitting it with some Storm Vermin fur to start with, Administratum Grey, Grey Seer, and then a little bit of the old Fun Grey as a highlight. Now when I use the Fulham Grey, I'm going to go quite heavy on the coat area because I'm wanting that as white as I can possibly get it. I might even use a little tiny bit of white scar just to kind of dry brush that section, just to make sure that we are getting a nice bright white before I'm dulling it back down again with the contrast. We've got a model up to where we need it Zenithal wise. Let us get some contrast paint. So to tie this fellow up with the rest of some of my army, we're going to be looking at a Nasdreg yellow. That is going to be kind of like his trousers. We've then got, chocolate everywhere, Paul. We've then got Griff Charger Grey, which needs a good shake up. That's going to go on the arm panels. So I don't do the armoring panels as in sort of like the front here and everything up here. That's a grey with the rest of my forces. Let's do this Griff Charger grey. So if I put that on there, that's going to sort of make it, I'm shaking, the bottle up if everything's wobbly. And then, of course, we're going to do a contrast white on his schmuck. And I'm wanting him to be quite pale, so I'm thinking about a Space Wolf grey on the head. I don't want to do the typical, because this is a guy that likes to experiment, it's a bit weird. I'm wanting to go for like a completely different colour, so I might go for a, the high colour will probably be a yellow, maybe a white. Actually probably white to fit in with the smock. But then we're going to be kind of thinning down some Green Stuff World dipping inks for the purple, because it's a little bit better if you put it onto a wet palette. I prefer it. Same with this dude here. He's going to be, of course, painted up in the purple, and then I will look at doing the smoke, and we're probably going to have to do something a little bit better with the little cauldron that he's got. There's a lot of things on this. This might, well, we'll see what happens. Oh yes, and it's at 10:30. Right, so I've even put Griff Charger grey as well into the backpack. I'm going to try and keep the backpack the same as this. I may add another layer of Griff Charger grey just to give it a slightly darker look. I've even put a bit of Griff Charger into the padding. My idea, of course, being that over a lot of the padding and the equipment pouches will be in sacks or something that was over a similar colour. I'm going to get some orc flesh. I'm going to paint the pipes in orc flesh. I've also got Achillean green, which I'm going to put orc flesh onto these, the sort of like little tublets, but I'm also going to put maybe a little bit of frost heart on there as well, and some volupus pink. I'm going to try, and they're mainly going to go into the vials on the side, but I'm going to try with the greens is try and get the dark green, the bright green on first, and quickly put on the dark green on the vials and see if I can create some form of like separation liquid, or try and get a liquid effect going without having to do a lot of the period. Now, don't get me wrong, me talking to you guys about it quite a lot means that I'm probably wasting time. So let's just crack on. So this is the result using all those mix of colours to try and get some of the chemicals going. I don't think that looks too bad, if I'm completely honest with you. It's something that I could always come back to try and make it look even nicer. But at the moment, that's looking pretty good. So we're going to have to get some black details in. We're going to have to get some leather details in regarding bits of the boots, and of course all this stuff here. The goggles will probably end up with a bit of leather on as well. And then I'll do some lenses later, probably with some red or green. We've got the screen at the back. All this lot is not going to be contrast. This is going to be some old school techniques. So we're going to get these following colours. So for the leather, we're going to hit it with some Rhinoxide first. That's going to be our base colour. Then we're going to highlight with a little bit of Doombold Brown. We cover it then in Agrax Earthshade. Go back onto the highlight with Doombold Brown, and you're done. That's a very quick and easy way of getting that ready. And then we're going to use two blacks. We're going to use Templar for the black. Black Legion is quite a very dark colour and actually covers very, very well, but you need some more highlights over the top of it. Hopefully the Black Templar will just give us the highlights naturally. This is for the silver area, so any area you're going to want silver, paint it with this first. Alright, now, I've put all the bits on that I suggested. I've got, of course, all the silver placed on now. We've got the little colours everywhere. We've done the leather. I'll put a link in for the other leather video for you guys to know about how to do that. It's not that hard, it's not that difficult, but like I say, just that colour, you know, your Rhinox, your Mornfang, your Agrax Earthshade, your Mornfang again. As you can see, it's a nice darker leather, just a nice bit of brown. It's something that I always use in a lot of models. It's very quick, it's very simple, really easy to do. We've got this chappy here that is now also getting close. I've used a bit of Army Painter hardened leather for the cork in his hand, and of course we've used Iron Hand Steel for all the steel areas. We're going to run over that now with some Nuln Oil. Just going to heavily shade that if we possibly can do. Try and make sure that we don't make a mess of any of the belts. I might not even bother touching those, but just everything else needs a bit of a wash of Nuln Oil over it. Just be really careful, again, not to graze your white. And then you need to try and make these little vinyl things a little bit more exciting. At the moment it's 11:58. We're doing quite well. We're also going to put some Ushabti bone on these guys, on the claws of these guys, and then hit that with some skeleton horde. That'll give the claw a nice quick claw done, dusted. Right, let's get those bits done. So we're doing well. Using a hairdryer, we've managed to dry off a lot of items. I am going to want to try and improve these. So I'm going to use a little bit of moot green. We're going to create some small tiny circles, just like the borderline, making it look like bubbles. And then maybe a little bit of bone on there to make them look even more bubble-like. Same on this chap. We're going to do the same to his little sort of mixture or concoction of evil that he seems to have there. I've even put a little bit of yellow, if you can see, onto the lights back there. It's coming along. It's coming along. It's very, very. It's been done very quick, and to be honest with you, it would fit quite well with the rest of the forces that I've got here. The screens I'm going to have to do blue. I should have another video just teaching you how to do that. It's just effectively doing this very similar thing as what I did with the leather. Just a couple of different blue colours of wash and then back on again. Right. Let's get these little bubbles on, and then for me and the blue, and then we're going to highlight the silver as well. I'm just going to use silver from Game Colour, and once that's on there, I think this should be done. So eyes done, a little bit of the lenses done, we've got some silver on there. I am going to consider that done, and I'm going to get it based up, and we're going to varnish it. Now when we varnish it, I'm going to make sure that any of the pipes of the glassworks, I'm going to hit it with a matte, but then I'm going to hit it with a gloss pretty much straight after, but through some like hard coat onto the various different things. If you can see, if I can zoom in, if you can see there, I've put my little bubbles into the, they're only tiny, just kind of like trying to make it look like there's actually some bubbles coming up on the glass and the pipe work. That was just little bits of moot green, just dotted and then semicircled around. Same on this chap here, just to try and give it a little bit of viscosity and difference, really. So I'm going to get it based up, get it varnished, get it done. It's about 12:30. And there we are. We have completed him. He is done, he's dusted, he's based, and he's ready to go. I'll try and get a nice zoom on him. There we are. As you can see, I've put some gloss onto a lot of the glossy bits. We've got the kind of vials and the liquids with little bits of bubbles going through. We did that pretty quick as well. I'm quite liking the different colour that we've got going on there using the contrast paints. And this is a close-up of his little buddy. And this is a close-up of his little buddy. Works quite well, especially with the smoke and his little jar of secrets. Well, thank you very much for watching, guys. Please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button for more, and we will see you in the next video.